And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another video game review. Today we are reviewing Secret of Mana, released I believe in 1993, possibly. I don't remember exactly. I think it was 1993 though. I'll be correct in the title for sure. This is the second game in the collection of Mana that I was able to borrow from my good friend LikunMiffery. So thank you for letting me borrow this collection. If you want to check out my first review of Final Fantasy Adventure, go check that one out first, then come back to this video. I got a lot of thoughts on this game though. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? I do think this game made a lot of improvements from Final Fantasy Adventure. The more 3D feel of the world is extremely impressive for 1993, especially with still being in the 32-bit era of gaming, that kind of stuff. It's very, very impressive though, with like the flying around. It's not necessarily full out 3D that we would see a few years later with the PlayStation 1, N64, whatnot. But it is still very impressive for the time period. I really did like flying around too, just kind of, doing that in a game this old just has some sort of different feel to it. It's really fun. Walking around though was so fucking boring. This is a huge world map, by the way, especially for 1993. It is huge. Just walking around just got really boring at times. You encounter the same stuff in the same places, doing the same things over and over and over again, mixed in with some new stuff to progress the story along, or new enemies and whatnot. But my god, dude, could you not? Why did it make it so big? Damn. This is more of a complaint about the for this version, not the original version. But it is way too easy to just switch the player controls from player 1 to player 2. Just way too easy. I got stuck several times because I would accidentally press the wrong button because the button layouts are so much different and it just does not work. That it just I would accidentally switch the controls and I wouldn't even know I switched the controls, and then I'd be stuck because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then I'd realize, I'm player 2 controls. But yeah, there is multiplayer. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Let's get back to the game. There's sometimes some enemies where they can just snipe you from whatever range. You can't avoid it. It just happens, and you're forced to take damage, especially earlier on in the game. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Why? Why do you have to have it like that? And you get farther in the game, you get more stuff, you get more experience, and the way the battles commence is different. But especially in those very early on in the game, they can discourage the player from really engaging in combat because they're going to take damage and they could die and they could restart, and you don't want to do that, because checkpoints can be God knows where, and you're just stuck doing whatever you need to do, and then you get, teleported back to a place you've never been before, and you don't know where you're at, and you don't know where you gotta go, you don't know what you have, you don't know where you are in the game. Doesn't make any sense. Also, the enemies are so generic, and this gets back to my walking around. Alright. This game's giving me a headache. It's just going back to, like, the enemies, they are just not memorable at all, and the characters aren't memorable at all. Either, and they just make the story just go so slow. It takes forever to pick up, And it's just so generic. On top of a large world map, on top of, a lot of the same enemies, on top of all this stuff, this game just drags on like crazy. And it's really hard to get going with it when it's so slow. Yeah, it just doesn't. I mean, I get it. You want to include a lot of stuff and you want to, have this sort of RPG style adventure. And this is how a lot of RPGs are. They can honestly move pretty slow, or there's a lot of backtracking, or there's just a lot of walking. And it's pretty similar here. But I would have liked to maybe see them not do that as much, at least. I don't know. Finally, I like the colors. It's not something you got in Final Fantasy Adventure, but you get it here. I like that. So, regardless, it's gonna do it for this video. My final score for Secret of Mana. I'm gonna have to give it a good 6. No, 5. I'm gonna give it a 5. Just a little bit of a step below Final Fantasy Adventure, in my opinion. Yeah, just okay, I guess. That's gonna do it though for this video. If you ever played this game, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And that's gonna do it for this video as well. Stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more video game reviews and other awesome stuff. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.